Oh, what's going on, Vikings fans? Here we are on a Wednesday, and you see by the title, it is Justin Jefferson is becoming a star, and he needs more targets. I'm going to be talking about what I've seen from Jefferson this year. We've had a decent sample size and kind of getting to know who he is as a receiver, what he does well, what he doesn't do well, and really, he has been great to start off. Anyways, if you guys are new here, please subscribe. It would mean a lot. I'm doing a giveaway at 1K. If anybody was in the live stream last night, thank you guys so much for coming. Thank you guys for the support on the channel. Leave a like on the video, comment down below. I respond to all you guys. Playoff runs coming. Hop on board. We're going to be doing this the entire year. Anyways, Justin Jefferson's a star and he needs more targets. Let's talk about it. All right, so our boy right there, Justin Jefferson, the game against Chicago, that was probably that was the best game I've seen from him. I know he's put up that monster game against Tennessee where he had 166 and 2 touchdowns, but what he did against Chicago with 8 for 134 on 10 targets, that was fantastic. The thing I loved about that game is I think it's huge on third down. I think if you're good, you can be great on first and second. I'm not saying that doesn't matter. But big third downs, 3rd and 8, 3rd and long, those mean more than a first down and a second down catch. And as we saw, Jefferson, he picked up a huge 3rd and 8. And then on that massive 3rd and 11, when Dalvin broke off a run on 3rd and 1, and then there was a holding call. The Vikings are down in the game. There was a holding call that got called back. So now it's 3rd and 11. They're pinned back in their territory, and they just say, Jefferson, run a slant. Like, that is such a benefit for Kirk Cousins to have that trust in that guy on 3rd and long just to zip it to him. And then he breaks off and he runs for 54 yards and is running people over. He was absolutely fantastic on 3rd down against Chicago, and really the whole Vikings offense was. You know, the Bears defense did a great job of getting them the 3rd down, and then the Vikings, even with Thielen, he had 2 touchdowns on 3rd down. Jefferson was picking up these big chunk plays on 3rd down to keep this defense honest and to keep them on the field, which is huge. I feel like Jefferson, I said this going into the game, in college, his best games came in the college football playoff. He had 4 touchdowns in the college semifinal, and I believe he had 2 in the national championship. I think Jefferson kind of has that it. You know, right away when I saw him on the field, I was like, dude, he looks good. Like, he just looked NFL. He looked star. Like, him and Cook, listen, Vikings fans, I know you're not going to like me saying this, but he's our best receiver. Like, I know Thielen's been there, and I know Thielen does a lot of things well, route running, all that, but he's our best receiver. The 50-50 balls, the route running, he can do it all. And I understand he's a rookie and he hasn't had any postseason success, and I know that's what makes a wide receiver, but I think he should be our #1 target. I think I think he will be going forward. I think Cousins and Kubiak kind of realize that, like, hey, he's special. And I'm not trying to say this should take away from Thielen, because I think Thielen is starting to develop this red zone type of Davante Adams chemistry that Davante Adams and Rodgers have that now Kirk Cousins and Thielen can have. I think Jefferson's becoming a star. I think that big primetime game in Chicago, he went and he dominated that game. I think that's him becoming a star. I think that was his kind of, hey, I'm here. Like, I know you guys have heard about me. Like, there's been a little buzz about him, but it's going to be, hey, I'm here. And I think over the next 3 games, we could really see him start exploding. That's what you want from your receivers, because the receiver, obviously, you need the quarterback to throw you the ball. But you also got to get him open, run after catch, finish these runs. That's the thing, man, about him. Chicago is a physical defense, and he was finishing these runs, getting up, talking smack to the other team, and I loved it. He plays with an edge. He plays with a swagger. But the thing about him, you know, these receivers that come out and they play with an edge, they play with a swagger, they're normally divas. You know, there's a lot of diva receivers in the NFL, but he's got this swagger to him, and I'm hoping he just stays calm and driven, and I think he will. He seems like a really good kid, and I really like what the Vikings are doing with him. Obviously, he didn't play more. He played less than 70% of the snaps in the first 2 weeks. Ever since then, he's hit the ground running, and he's been great. And he really showed me on Monday that he's comfortable in the NFL. You know, you don't go do that on that Chicago Bears defensive unless you're not comfortable. And the thing about the Vikings that kind of makes me upset right now is, where was he early on in the year? I get he had that big game against Tennessee, but where was he against Atlanta? Like, you got to go get that, or Atlanta, like, early on in the game. Like, he obviously had a big game, but that was kind of in the end when it was already out of the hands. But, like, he needs to get going early and often in these games because he's a difference maker. If you can get him going and then throw in Cook and then throw in Rudolph, throw in Thielen in the red zone because Thielen is so good on third down too. The Vikings should be going forward one of the best third down offenses in the NFL, and plus combine that with Zimmer's third down defense, I think it's great. I'm just saying, I'm just proposing to Gary Kubiak, get Justin Jefferson more touches. I think he's great. I think he's having a great year, and I think he's going to stay like that. You know, I'm not saying he's better than Diggs yet, or that's what everybody wants me to say. That's what everybody wants everybody to say is who's better. Honestly, looking back at that trade right now, that was a win-win because Diggs is doing great things there. Jefferson's doing great things here, and we got draft capital too on top of that. Anyways, I think Jefferson, I think he's a monster. I think he's becoming his own. His in-breaking routes, it means when you come in, he turn inside, not like an out route, an in route, like a slant or a deep end or like a post or cross or whatever. Those in-breaking routes where you hit the outside and you cut in. He's one of the best in the leagues. He's got the most yards per target in the league, so that should be telling you something. Jefferson, most yards among rookies, having a historical rookie season. I love comparing him to Moss. I know it's a huge stretch, but I love how they're doing it. Anyway, my boy, Jay Jets, congratulations, my guy. I mean, you are having a monster year. You need more targets, though, and I think they're going to start coming in because, yeah, Dalvin Cook's great, but if we could sprinkle some Justin Jefferson and some Kirk Cousins and some Adam Thielen, I think this offense could really, really get going because they only put up 19, yes, in Chicago, but they had 2 fumbles in Chicago territory. That offense could have easily put up 30. If they just got a field goal and then another touchdown, and even if they got 2 touchdowns, they could have put up 34 on those 2 drives. Anyways, Jay Jets, hell of a season so far. Absolutely balling out. You won your rookie matchup against Jalen Johnson from Utah, who's also a stud. Anyways, Justin Jefferson, he's a star, and he needs more targets. Anyways, guys, if you guys are new here, subscribe, like down below, like down below and comment down below. We do this every day. Minnesota Vikings Daily Takes. Justin Jefferson, he's a star. More targets coming his way. See you guys later. Run the table. Skol Vikes.